Okay. We're gonna start on our backs, lying on our backs on the mat. Oh, and we'll just take a couple of breaths because that sounds really nice to do. So just come to lay flat on your mat. Maybe give like your body a shake and then relax. And we'll just take 3 breaths just to bring ourselves onto our mats today. Inhaling through the nose, all the way from the low belly, up through the chest. And open your mouth, big exhale. 2 more just like that. Inhaling through the nose, filling up from the low belly, up through the chest. And open mouth, let it go. Inhaling again deeply from the low belly, up to the chest, all the way up to the crown of the head. Sip in 1 more breath of air. And exhale, let it go. And we'll just start to move slowly, bringing our feet up to our bottoms, bending our knees. Taking your time to get there. Feet about hips width apart. See if you can touch your heels to your hands as they're next to you on your side or to your sides. And we'll take just a few bridge poses here to start to warm up our glutes. Taking a deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, begin to roll up vertebrae at a time as you lift your hips to the ceiling, squeezing through your glutes. Inhale, lift 1 inch higher, and exhale, rolling down, 1 vertebrae at a time back down to the floor. We'll do 2 more, inhaling to prepare. Exhaling to lift the hips, squeezing through the glutes. Inhale, lift 1 inch higher. And exhale, rolling down slowly, slow as you can, 1 vertebrae at a time. Inhaling to stay flat back on the floor. Exhale, lifting 1 last time, squeezing your glutes. Squeezing your inner thighs together. Inhale, lift 1 inch higher. Exhale, rolling slowly down to the floor. Bringing your right knee into your chest, leaving your left foot or your left leg bent where it is. Grab behind your right leg, just behind your right thigh, and bring your knee into your chest, rolling it around for a second, just stretching out that hip. And then we'll bring it centered right in front of us, knee pulled into the chest. Point through your toe and begin to straighten your leg just as far as you can until you feel a stretch. I can't straighten very far on this leg because it's my bad hamstring. And then at the top, flex your foot and then squeeze your heel back into your bottom. We're going to do this 5 times. So pointing the foot, extending the leg just until you feel a stretch. Flexing the foot and squeezing that heel back into your bottom. Pointing, extending, flexing, and squeezing back into your bottom. Pointing, extending, maybe you go a little straighter this time, flexing, and bending back through that leg. Last one, point, extend, flex, and heel back into your bottom. Switching sides now, bringing your right foot back to the floor, left leg into your chest, rolling that hip around for a second, Just giving it a nice massage as you roll it around in the joint. And bringing it back to center. Same thing on this side, pointing the foot. Extending the leg just until you feel a stretch. Flexing the foot and bringing it back down. Beautiful. Pointing, extending, flexing, and heel back towards the bottom. Point, extend, flex, and bend. 2 more. Point, extend, flex, bending through the leg, and last one. Point, extend, flex, and bending back towards your body. Awesome. Bringing both knees into the chest now. Rolling side to side, massaging out your low back. Just for a second here. And then we'll begin to rock and roll forward and back, north and south. Coming up when you're ready to a tabletop position. Shoulders stacked over your wrists, hips stacked over your knees. Knees about hip width apart. Pressing through your hands, opening jar lids underneath your hands. Coming to a nice flat back. Awesome, and we'll do a few cat-cows here. So inhale, dropping your chest, shining your chest forward, looking towards the sky. Exhale, rounding, belly button to spine, like this little cat in front of my mat. Inhale, dropping the belly, shining the chest forward. Exhale, belly button to spine. Doming your back like a cat. One more. Inhale, dropping the belly, shining the chest forward. And exhale, rounding through the spine. Tucking the toes. And pressing back on your exhale into a downward facing dog. Just taking a few breaths here to walk out your dog, pressing your heels one at a time towards the floor, back and forth, maybe rolling out one ankle and the other, whatever feels good here. Maybe just coming to stillness, taking a couple of breaths here. Checking your alignment, pressing down through the first 2 fingers of your hands and rotating the eyes of your elbows forward. And we'll take one big breath all together, inhaling through your nose. Exhale, let it go through your mouth as you press your hips back and up towards the sky. Beautiful. And we'll come to a 3-legged dog, lifting the right foot to the sky, toes facing towards the floor, squeezing through the glute. And then bringing that leg forward towards your right wrist, keeping it as straight as possible. And you might not go very far. I don't go very far. But we'll just do this back and forth. So squeezing towards your wrist and then sending it back up towards the sky. Squeezing it towards the wrist, straight as you can. And exhaling it back towards the sky. One more, squeezing towards your hand, really squeezing through that quad on that leg. And back towards the sky. This time, bending through your knee, coming through a cheetah pose. Give your knee a kiss. And drop your foot between your hands, coming into a low or a high crescent lunge. Take a second to set up the alignment in your feet. And then rolling up one vertebrae at a time into your high crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. Squeezing the inner thighs together, stacking your back heel over your toes for stability, and palms facing towards each other, shoulders away from the ears. We'll take a few pulses here. So cactusing the arms, drop the back knee, bending towards the floor, just so it hovers off the floor, and then straightening back through that leg, bringing the arms up overhead. 2 more times, bending through the back knee, cactusing the arms, and straightening it again. Let that straightening really come from the glute. So we're not going up and down, we're bending and straightening. 1 more time, cactus, and hover that back knee, and then squeezing through the glutes to straighten that back leg, shifting the arms up overhead. Beautiful. And then windmilling our arms open, spiraling that back foot so it's parallel with the back of the mat, coming into a warrior 2. Taking a moment here to set up your alignment, heel to arch, reaching your arms away from each other, activating your arms, squeezing your inner thighs together, and inhale here, and exhale, sink a little lower. Awesome. On your next inhale, reverse triangle, straighten through your front leg, and reach your front arm back to high five the back wall. Inhale here, and exhale. 1 more inhale to stay. And exhale, reaching that arm forward now, kicking the hips back towards the back wall, and reaching as far as you can forward, and then hinging towards the floor in a beautiful triangle pose. Breathing here for a moment. Yeah, block is a great option here. Underneath that bottom hand. And this flow is a lot of triangles today. Triangles represent wholeness and completeness. Just to remind us that wherever we are today is perfect in the right spot and where we need to be. Big transition now on your next inhale. Coming to stand, turning your back foot towards the back corner of your mat. Beautiful. And then we're going to bend into that back knee and coming into a skandasana, bring your hands to the floor and turning your front toes towards the ceiling. Yeah, beautiful. Really pulling that hip back in towards its socket of the straight leg. And then maybe if you can, bring your hands to heart center, making sure to keep that heel of the left foot on the ground and only coming as low as you can. So if you can only lower it here, that's totally fine. But just wherever you can keep that foot flat on the ground, beautiful. And really spiraling the toes up towards the ceiling of the straight leg. Inhale here and exhale. 1 more inhale here. And exhale, bring your hands to the floor, turning now towards that bent leg and walking around into a low runner's lunge towards the back of the room. Beautiful. Maybe walking your hands in a little more to keep your hips really high here, or your feet in more, excuse me, towards each other. Keep your hips really high and your legs really activated. We're going to inhale to straighten through both legs in kind of a pyramid pose. Beautiful. Maybe lifting that to the front toes off the floor, if you can. And exhale, bending back into that low runner's lunge. 2 more like that. Inhale, straighten through both legs. Lifting the front toes off the floor. And exhale, low runner's lunge. 1 more. Inhale, straighten through both legs. Lifting the front toes. And exhale, low runner's lunge. And then we will ground through that left front foot, stepping the right foot forward, and to meet it, coming into a forward fold. And just hang here for a minute. I'm going to lose my jacket. It's now warm. And breathing there in your forward fold. Just letting your head hang heavy. Beautiful. Taking a moment here just to catch your breath. Big inhale. And open mouth exhale, let it go. We'll do that now all on the other side, beginning by stepping back or jumping back into your downward facing dog. Taking a minute to pedal out your feet. And when you're ready, inhaling to lift that left foot up to the sky, three-legged dog. Pressing that back foot back, squeezing through the glute, dialing the toes towards the floor. And on your next inhale, keeping the leg straight, but bringing the foot as close up towards that left wrist as you can. And then sweeping it back up, three-legged dog. Two more, sweeping that left leg forward, squeezing through the quad. And back to your three-legged dog. Last one, make it good. Sweeping that leg, keeping it straight, squeezing through the quad as far forward as you can. And exhale, three-legged dog. Inhale, reaching high with that leg. Exhale, knee to nose, cheetah pose. Give it a kiss. And step it forward between your hands. Setting up your feet so you have a good stable alignment here. Maybe stepping the hips width apart. And rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Up into your Anjaneyasana. Stacking those heel over the toe for stability, firing up the inner thighs. We'll cactus our arms and hover that back knee. And then squeezing through the glute to straighten. Arms reach up overhead. Two more. Cactus and hover the back knee. Squeezing through the glute, reaching high. Straightening the back leg. One more, cactus and hover. Inhale to straighten and reach high. And exhale, opening up into your warrior two. Back leg aligned with the short edge of the mat. Bending through the front knee to a 90-degree angle. Reaching tall in all directions. Belly button to spine. Inhale here. And exhale, sink a little lower. Inhale, reverse triangle, straightening through the front leg. Reaching the front arm back towards the wall behind you. High five the back wall. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale one more time. And exhale. Shift your hips back behind you. And reach your arm as far forward as it can go. Before finally hinging forward. Bringing your hand to the floor or a block. And reaching your top arm up towards the ceiling. Gazing up towards the ceiling. Making your body as flat as you can here, as if you're squeezed between two panes of glass, or you're a piece of toast in a toaster. Breathing here for a few breaths. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale to stay. And as you exhale, come to a stand. Turn your back toes towards that back front corner of the mat. And bending through that knee, Skandasana, to the front of your mat here. Keeping that heel of your bent leg on the floor, only coming as low as you can. And then squeezing that straight leg, the hip into the socket, and the toes towards the ceiling. If you can, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale here. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale one last time. And exhale, walking your hands back towards the front of your mat. Coming into a high runner's lunge. Taking a breath here. And on your next inhale, straightening through both legs to a pyramid. And maybe lifting the front toes. Exhale, coming back to that low run or the high runner's lunge. Inhale, straightening, lifting the toes. Exhale, back into your high runner's lunge. And one more, just like that. Inhale, straightening through both legs, lifting the toes. Exhale, low runners, or high runner's lunge. Low runner's lunge, whichever one it is. Birds are struggling today. We're going with it. On your next inhale, stepping the left foot up to meet the right, and taking your forward fold. Grabbing for opposite elbows here. Bringing your chest toward your knees, bending through your knees a little, sending those hips towards the sky, and maybe swaying side to side, if that feels good. Beautiful. And just take an inhale, we'll take a cleansing breath just to reset. Inhale, open mouth, exhale. And stepping back against that downward facing dog. Pedaling out the feet. We'll come back to our three-legged dog, raising the right foot towards the sky. This time, bending and crunching it towards your right elbow. Hovering for a second, sending it back towards a three-legged dog. Again, bending, and this time just between your hands, cheetah pose. Give your knee a kiss, sending it back to three-legged dog. One more this time, crunching towards the left elbow. Across your body, beautiful, and then threading it through, straightening the leg out to the side. From that crunch into your left, just straightening it, sending it out towards the side, and opening up, lifting your left arm to the sky into your fallen triangle, lifting your hips up towards the ceiling, beautiful. Inhale here, and exhale, dropping your hips, your bottom towards the floor, and just coming into a sit. Yeah, perfect. And coming into a straddle here, widening out your legs if you'd like. Taking an inhale to sit tall. And exhale, folding towards your right leg, but with your left arm up and over your head. So side bend. Yes, toward your left leg, or toward your right leg. Left arm toward your right leg. Opening your chest up towards the ceiling as much as you can. Inhaling here and exhale. Taking just a few breaths. Inhale, coming back up to center. And don't worry, we'll do the other side when we do the other side. But bringing right now your right leg, bending through your right leg and bringing that foot to the inner thigh of your left leg. So in your kind of half forward fold here. We'll inhale to reach high up overhead. Turning towards that straight leg. And exhale, folding forward over that straight leg. Just into a one-legged forward fold. Taking a minute to breathe here. You can flex through that foot or point, whatever feels better. Keeping a flat back as much as possible and hinging from the hips. But letting go of any tension in the neck and letting your head hang here. Relaxing into this nice calf and hamstring stretch. Inhale, rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming back up to a sit. Taking your right hand and placing it behind your right hip. Yeah, beautiful. And then pressing up through your hips, you'll come onto your right knee, keeping that left leg long and reaching up into a nice stargazer stretch here. Yes, beautiful. It's like my favorite stretch. And coming back down, we'll come forward onto that knee that we're already on, but bringing your left leg in line with it. And if you want to scooch back so that you're on your mat, because I've kind of come off my mat. Yeah, there you go. We're coming to a little baby side plank here. So reaching the left arm up towards the sky, leaning onto that right arm. Beautiful. And then maybe lifting that left leg off the floor into a little baby half moon here. Yes, so good. Crunching that left knee into your chest and then swooping it forward into a low lunge here to your Anjaneyasana. Awesome, so good. Pressing through your quad or through your right glute to press your hips forward here. And we'll just do some back and forth from this Anjaney and then back into a half split. Just on your own breath, moving back and forth here. We'll do this a few times. And then if you'd like, I'm not going to today, but if you want to, you could do come into a full split here from this flossing. I'll give you a few breaths to do that if you'd like to, but no pressure. I'm going to take it easy today. And just continue the floss. If you're coming into your full split, making sure that you are squeezing the legs, keeping them very activated, squeezing those inner thighs towards each other, and your belly button to your spine. That looks so good, Elisa. So good. Beautiful. And whenever you're ready, coming out and meeting us back in that low crescent lunge. Taking your time, slowly coming out of that split. We don't want to shock our hamstrings any more than we already are. And then tucking the back toes. We'll step again, that right foot up to meet the left in a forward fold. Beautiful. And then I'm going to move to my other side of my mat so that you can see me as we do the other side. Taking a minute here to catch your breath. Deep inhale through your nose. Exhale through the mouth, let it go. We'll come back one last time into our downward facing dog. This time, right away, bringing the left leg up into our three-legged dog. Bending through the knee, crunching it towards the left elbow. Sending it back, three-legged dog. Crunching it towards the center, cheetah pose. Give your knee a kiss. And sending it back to three-legged dog. And one last time, crunching your knee towards your right elbow, hovering for a second, and then sending that leg through to the other side. Lifting your hips as you bring your right arm up to the sky into your fallen triangle. Beautiful. Big inhale here. And exhale, lowering your hips to the floor, slow as you can. Coming into that straddle. Widening out your straddle if you would like to. No pressure to it all though. Setting up here. Inhaling, reaching high through the crown of your head. And reaching your right arm up and over towards your left leg. Into this side bend. spiraling your chest up towards the sky as much as you can. And just breathing here. Inhale, coming back up to center. Whenever you're ready. Then bending through your left knee. Bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. And turning to face that straight leg, wherever you are. Inhale, reaching tall, up to the sky. Turning towards that straight leg. Exhale, hinging from the hips, keeping a flat back as long as you can, and then folding forward over that leg. Into this one-legged forward fold. We'll take 5 breaths here. You can flex through that foot or point, whichever feels better. You can keep a slight bend in the knee if it's too intense of a stretch. Whatever feels right in your body today. Rolling up one vertebrae at a time, coming up to a seat. Bring your left arm up and back behind your left hip to the floor, and then pressing your hips to the sky, coming onto that left knee, reaching your right arm up and behind you into this beautiful stargazer. Inhaling here, and deep exhale. And when you're ready, coming to that baby side plank, maybe scooching your knee back so that it's on your mat again. Left hand to the floor outside of your left knee and right arm up towards the sky. Inhale to lift that right leg if you can to your half moon. Crunching your knee in towards your chest and then stepping it up towards the front of your mat, or the back of your mat rather, whichever side you're on. It's the front for you, I think. I turn around. Into your low crescent lunge. And then again, taking this flossing, so squeezing your glute to press your hips forward, and then pulling back into your half split. Inhale, low crescent lunge. Exhale, half split. And just taking this back and forth on your own breath, as many times as feels good. And if you took a full split on the other side, maybe giving that a try on this side as well. Or just keep flossing back and forth. Whatever feels right for your body today. Oh, that's a good split, girl. Look at that. Squeeze through the inner thighs to activate the legs. Pulling that belly button to spine. That looks so good. Taking a few breaths there, and then whenever you're ready, slowly coming out. Meaning back in our low crescent lunge. Taking your time, moving slow. And then when you're ready, stepping the left foot up to meet the right in our forward fold. Last forward fold, make it a good one. Hang your head heavy like a rag doll. Hips up towards the sky. Just let everything relax here. And then we'll slowly lower our hips to the floor, slow as you can. Coming on to our backs. Knees pulled into the chest. Maybe rocking back and forth if that feels good, side to side. And we'll take one happy baby here. So hands towards the knife edge side of your feet, knees up into your armpits. And again, maybe rocking back and forth here, side to side, massaging out that low back, creating a long line from the crown of your head all the way to your tailbone. Maybe straightening one leg and then the other, if that feels good. Fully relaxing here. And then whenever you're ready, slowly coming down into your Shavasana. Legs out wide, arms out to your sides, palms facing up for receiving energy, or facing down if you want to feel more grounded. Taking one last breath together, inhaling through your nose, filling up from your low belly, all the way up through your chest, all the way up to the crown of your head. Taking one last sip of air in, and open mouth exhale. Let everything go. Shavasana. And then I'll leave you here in Shavasana for as long as you'd like. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today.